Hello, ladies and gentlemen, 'tis I, Michael A. Grimm, aka the Multi-Voice. I have many voices, but one opinion. And guess what I have seen lately, ladies and gentlemen? I have seen the Super Mario Brothers movie. And I have to say, the Super Mario Brothers movie is pretty damn good. I mean, compared to the other Super Mario Brothers movie, the live action one made back in the 90s, which was a total bomb, this Super Mario Brothers movie was more faithful to the video game. Even though I can tell that some of the design has a little bit of the Wreck-It Ralph kind of design. I mean, sometimes some of the designs make me think of the characters from Wreck-It Ralph. I'm gonna wreck it! And if any of you ever never saw my review of Wreck-It Ralph, I'll show in the link. Although I didn't review it, my good friend Dracula reviewed Wreck-It Ralph. And why my friend Dracula reviewed Wreck-It Ralph, he'll explain it to you along on my review. At least I reviewed Ralph Breaks the Internet, the sequel. But after I was done seeing Super Mario Brothers movie, I finally gave in and decided to watch the Sonic Hedgehog movies. And of course I was surprised that the Sonic the Hedgehog movie turned out to be pretty damn good too. And it even reminded me of another video game movie, which is Angry Birds. I mean, their movies are still good. And I remember when my grandma was alive, she saw the movie Silent Hill, and when I told her that it was based from a video game, she was like, "No." And of course, I played the game in front of grandma, and she was impressed. And of course, now, in case any of you would ask me, no, I haven't seen Detective Pikachu. I haven't seen that movie because I'm just not really into Pokemon. I mean, I was into Pokemon for a while, but if they kept on adding more and more and more and more Pokemons, I lost interest. But I've heard, and of course I know that Peacock is doing a TV series that is based on a video game, which is Twisted Metal. Now, I never played the game myself, but I heard a lot about it. I watched a lot of clip scenes from it. And I know some of you are going to be asking me, how about The Witcher? It's based on a video game. Yeah, no. The Witcher was based from series of fantasy books before they did the RPG video game and then the series. So, food for thought for those of you who didn't know. And I think it's kind of suck that that Henry Cavill can no longer play the main character. After all, he's no longer playing Superman, which I think that sucks. And of course, now I think they're starting to have a Nintendo cinematic universe now, just like with Marvel and DC. Now we're going to be having the video game of Nintendo Cinematic Universe. And the rumor has it that they're planning to make Legends of Zelda the movie. One thing I have to say, at least they don't have Link saying, "Excuse me, princess." But anyway, another thing I've heard is that now they're going to be doing, not besides Legend of Zelda, which I think is pretty cool. Just don't let it do exactly what I said about having Link saying, "Excuse me, princess." Now, I know that Zelda Williams, I mean, I don't know if she would cut out as an actress or not, but I think it would be pretty cool if she plays Princess Zelda. Just a thought, but if she won't do it, that's okay. After all, a lot of people do say that Legend of Zelda is like the Lord of the Rings of the Nintendo video game system. And of course, did you know that Robin Williams was a big fan of that game Legends of Zelda. So that's why when his wife was pregnant, they decided to name his daughter Zelda because of the game. She was once teased, but now she got used to playing the game. But there's another video game that I heard that the Nintendo is going to be doing a movie of, and that is Metroid. Now, to be honest, folks, I never played any of the Metroid video games, except there are times I wish I did because I got the story, I got the timeline, I got the premise, and everything. And I think it would be pretty cool. A little history. Metroid started out as a Nintendo game back in 1986. And then when Super Nintendo came out, they kind of remade it as Super Metroid in 1994, which I would like to try that game out. But ever since when Nintendo became GameCube, they made Metroid Prime trilogy, which is available on Nintendo Wii in 2009, which I'd like to have that because I have a Nintendo Wii. I mean, I would like to have it on the Switch, but I don't have a Nintendo Switch, sadly. I mean, there's two game systems I don't have. PS4 and 5 and Nintendo Switch. And I would love to try some of those games from those game systems. And why I never tried any of the Xbox game, because, well, I'm not interested in Xbox. And the only game I'm only interested in is I want to try out all the Halo games. And that's it. But anyway, for those of you who don't know about Metroid, let's just say that the game itself was inspired from Ridley Scott's sequel, Aliens, which I myself love that movie, Aliens. I mean, I didn't care about the first movie because it was just straight up horror movie, but I love the sequel because the sequel became more than just sci-fi horror, it's also a sci-fi action horror. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I love seeing Sigourney Weaver in her exoskeletal robotic suit and just telling the queen, "Get away from her, you bitch!" I mean, I just love that scene so much. Now, I know some of you are going to be thinking, if Nintendo's going to be making a movie of Metroid, they're just going to do exactly like what they did in Mortal Kombat the movie. Now, that's one... I mean, I remember back then, most video game movies suck because they're not being faithful to the video games that it's based on. Like what they did, like I mentioned, Super Mario Brothers 90s live-action movie, even Double Dragon, Street Fighter, and Resident Evil, House of the Dead, and tons of other movies based on video games that pretty much weren't exactly big successful movies in the box office. But the only one that was very faithful was, of course, Mortal Kombat. They made Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, and they were based from an extremely violent and gory movie. They were very faithful to the game, but here's the problem. The movie was rated PG-13. And now I hear that they've been making modern Mortal Kombat series where it has the same level as the game with all the gore, violence, blood, and everything. And now I'm hearing they're making animated movies now. Since now they're part of the Warner Brothers. So, if you ask me, I just hope they're not gonna that they're not gonna make Metroid be PG-13 and just make it either R rated. You know, does anybody besides me miss those old days in the 80s where we used to have PG rated movies, and even though they're rated PG, there's a lot of scary scenes, traumatizing, creepy scenes in those 80s movies? But it's not like the PG rated movies of today, which it pretty much stands for practically G. I miss those 80s PG rated movies. But anyway, back to the Metroid. For those of you who don't know about the game, here is history. It all got to do with this galactic bounty hunter who goes by the name of Samus Aran. Now, a lot of people were kind of surprised because most guys who played the Metroid game played the character of Samus Aran wearing that armor. But at the end of the game, it revealed they thought it was a big surprise when Samus Aran showed up and removed her armor. It revealed that all that time Samus Aran is a woman. But how did Samus Aran become a galactic bounty hunter? Well, here's the premise. I got most of the stories from the Japanese graphic novel that they did make it in English, and I wish I had these graphic novels of Metroid. When she was a daughter of a colonist family who colonizes a planet. And then all of a sudden a group of space pirates started killing everybody in that colony. Her father was murdered, and and of course Aunt Samus Aran, she was 3 years old, she was running for her mother, and from out of nowhere out come this pterodactyl alien who goes by the name of Ridley. Named after Ridley Scott. Now, Ridley, one thing he did, he killed her mother and by burning her alive and started eating her mother while young Samus Aran watched all this right in front of her. I mean, she had the most extreme trauma that no child should ever have. And she was so traumatizing that she really had a death wish going. Like, she really wanted to die. So, a group of good aliens who goes by the name of the Chozo, these bird-like aliens called the Chozo, they decided to mix her DNA with theirs and gave her the armor, which, as you can see from the armor, you know, I like Samus Aran enough. I like to have the action figure of her as one of my collections. But anyway, the Chozo raised her to be like a galactic bounty hunter. Now, she was with the Federation for a while, led by her commander, Adam Malkovich. He was like the commander of the Federation, but they had a sort of the commander respected her, and Samus Aran respected him, but they had a bit of a falling out. And that's why she turned her back against the Federation and started meeting the Chozo and became a bounty hunter. And it turns out that how the Chozo became what they are, turns out there was a lot of evil parasites roaming around the galaxy. So they invented these jellyfish-like creatures called the Metroids, who are supposed to eat and devour the viruses. But some of them kept metamorphosed into horrible creatures. And some of these Metroids, the Chozo created a sort of a queen to the Metroid known as Mother Brain. Now, Mother Brain, she became evil and started wiping out the Chozo to extinction. So now it's up to Samus Aran, as a galactic bounty hunter, not only go after Ridley, but also Mother Brain, and all of a sudden she find a Metroid who is a hatchling, and that only baby Metroid kind of sees Aran as a mother to it. So when the Mother Brain was about ready to kill Samus Aran, that Metroid hatchling saved her life. And throughout the whole genre, Samus Aran continued on as a galactic bounty hunter throughout the entire game system. Now, I know most of the video games are pretty awesome, except Other M, which I did took some of the other M on the premise because it did tell a bit of the backstory about her and Commander Adam Malkovich. But that's the only bit we can take from other M and not the whole premise. Because there's a lot of diehard Metroid fan who wants other M not to be canon to the Metroid franchise. Now, since you guys are up to speed with the Metroid, I'm also going to be doing some multicasting in this. Now, I want to be more faithful to the Ridley Scott Alien movies, so I think some of the cast members from Aliens should do the part. Like, for instance, who I think who should play Commander Adam Malkovich will be none other than Michael Biehn. Yeah, he played Hicks on Aliens, and he also played Kyle Reese on on the first Terminator movie, and also he played Johnny Ringo on Tombstone. And I think it's pretty cool that he should play the commander in Metroid. Just let it be like a side story of the origin of Samus Aran, where she met the commander and had a falling out, and the commander showing his respects towards her and understood why she left the Federation. And the other character who I think is the arch nemesis, the main bad, I mean, not the main bad guy, but one of the bad guys who killed Samus Aran's mother, Ridley, who I think who should be playing Ridley will be none other than the legendary actor himself, and that is Lance Henriksen. He has the most iconic voice ever, and having him doing the voice of Ridley, it would be pretty interesting. I mean, he always has this kind of dark, deep kind of voice. And I remember him playing Admiral Hackett on Mass Effect. Pack it out. And imagine him playing Ridley. You'll be like, ah, Samus Aran, how you grown. Last time I saw you, I was enjoying eating your mother after I flay her. And another cast member, I think, who should be playing the main bad girl, aka Mother Brain, and who I think would be perfect to play Mother Brain, is this one legendary actress of all who I think should play the bad girl in this one. And it's none other than Sigourney Weaver. Everybody remember her from Aliens and Ghostbusters, and I think she'll be perfect doing the voice of Mother Brain. I mean, playing this alien creature who gave birth to the Metroids and also tries to kill Samus Aran but gets saved by a baby Metroid who kind of think of Aran as his mother. I think that Sigourney Weaver would be perfect to do the voice of Mother Brain. Now here's the one you all been waiting for. Who do I think should play Samus Aran, our hero throughout the whole Metroid series? Well, believe it or not, a lot of people always kept saying Brie Larson should play Samus Aran. Yeah, no. Absolutely not. She already playing the hero in the MCU as Captain Marvel, and I just don't think it's a good idea to have her playing Samus Aran. And some people would say that Jennifer Beal should play her, but she haven't acted in a long time, so I don't know. But there are two actresses, two, that I'm thinking who should play Samus Aran. And these are the greatest actresses that I know from tons of movies and shows I've seen them in. One actress I think who'd be perfect to play Samus Aran is none other than Charlize Theron. Now, I've seen her in Monster. I've seen her in Mighty Joe Young. I've seen her in Prometheus, which some people are saying it's canon to the Alien franchise or not. I don't know. But I think having Charlize Theron playing Samus Aran, she would be perfect. But if some people think she's too old to play Samus Aran, there's another actress who I think should be perfect. Now, I know this actress since I saw her play Supergirl in Smallville. And no, not Melissa Benoist, but I said Smallville, not Supergirl. And the actress who I think who would be perfect to play Samus Aran is none other than Laura Vandervoort. I've seen her in Smallville playing Supergirl. And I've seen her make an appearance in other shows and movies. But I think it's time for her to have a lead role and play a character which is Samus Aran as a space hero. I mean, seeing her playing Supergirl in Smallville, I mean, it's like having her playing the second banana to Clark Kent, aka Superman. So I think it's time for her to give her a chance to play Samus Aran in this movie. But that's just my idea of who I think who should play Samus Aran. But it's up to you people. Who do you think would be better off playing Samus Aran? Charlize Theron or Laura Vandervoort? You make the call by leaving a comment down below. And speaking of leaving a comment down below, this is, one more thing I forgot to mention. One thing I think would be really cool, though, at the end of the Metroid movie, I mean, since when they did the Super Mario Brothers movie, they introduced Donkey Kong, I think that in the Metroid movie, they should also introduce Fox McCloud from Star Fox. Why not have one space hero meet another in the Nintendo Cinematic Universe? Do a barrel roll! Well, this is my thoughts for today. If any of you like my thoughts so far, please leave a comment down below, hit like and subscribe, and for those of you who are wondering about my my audio of Flash Gordon meets Buck Rogers again, I'm still waiting on some of the lines for some of the people. Some of them are sick, some of them have been pretty busy, but they promised to do their lines in the weekend, so I'm still waiting for them. And I still got some lines from the others, which I'm pretty thankful that they did. So, this is Michael A. Grimm, aka the Multi-Voice. I remember so I can jog your memory.